Hello! Welcome to another episode of Queenlight Blossoming with your host Vanja. And today we're going to be doing something a bit different, which is channeling, on the theme of channeling. Because I felt that I've been mentioning it and it is something that I do and that has been helping me and my clients. It has been something that has been closest to my heart for a very long time and that is helping me learn all these things that I have been sharing with you so far. So I'll be receiving help from my dear friend and collaborator, Julia, who will be asking me questions. And when I channel, I come into this relaxed meditative space where I'm connected to the earth, connected to the source, and in my heart. So aligned and centered and open. And I move out of the way. So I do not have any expectations and I allow for what wants to come through for the highest good. You will hear more about it in the channeling. And then if you have any more questions, you can share in the comments or send me a message. So here we go. We are very happy that you're bringing this up. We are very happy to have this opportunity to talk to you and to share with you what we see from the higher perspective, from the higher levels of consciousness and higher dimensions. So, we're gonna say that we are now fully connected to Vanya's body. We are connected to every little cell of her body, and all of them are now responding to these vibrations that are coming through that we are sending. You have now asked the question, what is channeling? And first thing we're going to say is that depending on the question, depending on the intention, and depending on who is channeling, depends what will be coming through and how it will be coming through. And Vanya is now feeling very high vibrations in her body, specifically in her chest and in her throat. And these are very pleasant vibrations that are making her face also expand and her smile get really big. And we're also going to point to her lower chakras. So the third chakra and the second chakra in her body are feeling a bit of discomfort still. So she is a bit uncomfortable to share this with you fully. Because she knows that this is being recorded for YouTube, and there's a part of her that is feeling uncomfortable and wanting to lower down the vibrations to make it easier for people to watch. But those are not the vibrations that you are here for. The vibrations that have brought you to watch this video are the ones that are of the highest frequencies, that are of the light and wisdom and blessings that you are craving to receive. The vibrations that help open up different parts of you, parts that have been afraid, parts that have been closed and thus been stuck, the parts that are fearful to show their full light, to show their full joy, because joy can be uncomfortable. Joy can be vulnerable in this world today. And also moving your body how your body wants to be moved is something that not many of you do. But with Vanya being a mirror, with Vanya allowing herself to open up fully, and her chakras to, first of all, relax. She is allowing the flow of energy. And through channeling, she is bringing these vibrations that are helping you, that are helping her, and that are helping the whole multiverse. Because you are connected to all. And through channeling, Vanya switches her awareness to truly feel connected to all. And again, depending on the question, depending on the intention and the need of the moment, she is being connected to that part of the field being very focused, very present, very open and sensitive. And allowing whatever is needed in the moment. So, channeling helps in many different ways. It helps you hear and feel what is sometimes hard for you to connect to, because most of you are in the lower vibrations, in the human perspective, forgetting that you are also your higher self, your soul, and the source. Because you are like the ray of sun, so you are sunshine, you are part of the sun, right? And in these lower vibrations, this lower perspective, you forget about that and you get entangled into the energies that are here. And these entanglements don't allow you to see clearly, to feel fully, to release what doesn't serve you, in order to, again, open up the flow of your energy for your own healing. Because when the energy is moving through fully and freely, it is nurturing, it is giving nutrients to your whole body, your whole being. And that's when you feel vital, when you feel inspired, when you feel grateful, when you feel peaceful, when you feel wise, when you have clarity on what is needed now. So channeling is helping you see from a higher perspective, unlock some of those nuts, what you're ready to unlock, what you're willing to unlock. So this will never do to you what you're not ready for. And you will also feel certain closure in different parts of you when you listen to channelings. And Depending on your choice, you can go into them and learn more about yourself. Are you closing because this really doesn't resonate, or there is fear of you opening up and fear of you changing and fear of you being more seen, more you, more open, more free? And you always have a choice what you will allow, what you're ready for. And the more you listen to channelings, the more you allow yourself to, we can say channel, but to open to receiving the high vibrations yourself. You don't have to do what Vanja does, and not everybody can, because not everyone is supposed to, not everyone's soul chose to do this in this lifetime. So that is not needed. But yes, you can receive also high vibrations that will nourish your own being, that will give you clarity from the inside, and that will help activate and be connected to your own inner compass, so that in every moment you know where you are called to for your highest good and for everyone else's highest good. All right. So your intuition comes from the inside. It is something that is within you, that is calling you in different ways. Everyone has a different way of feeling their own intuition, but it is inspiring you to do something or not do something. And oftentimes intuition is hard to explain because it doesn't feel logical. It oftentimes doesn't make sense. It doesn't fit into the matrix boxed way of being and moving through the world. But intuition is kind of like a spark of magic that reminds you that this world is not just material, that it is just 1% material, but that matter is energy that is communicating with you, and that also depends on you. So depending on your own vibration is what you are opening and seeing in the outer world. And of course, you are not alone in this universe. When you look from this lower part of you, we will say that if you go to the highest point, you are all there is. You are source, you are God, you are universe. You can call it however you want. You can call it Allah, you can call it any names, because it doesn't really have a name. That's what humans give to it. But from that point you are everything. So you can say that you are alone in that way, but that is not feeling lonely or alone for the source, because it is connected to all of its parts. It is so rich, so full. But when you are in this separated part in some ways, and we are expanding your questions because we feel there is need to add context to some of the things that we are saying. So going back to the individual that you are in this lifetime, that, for example, can be called Vanja. you are not just that, you are also connected to your higher self. And we're just tuning in with how much information actually to say here. Okay, we're pointed to go to the individual. So Vanya is, as an individual, connected to her higher self and connected to her spirit guides, and that is what we also call we. As we are speaking, it is not just one being speaking, it is more of us coming through as it's needed. So that's why we also say we, and why it's coming through in that way. But intuition is your connection to more parts of yourself and to the higher awareness, and messages from that higher awareness that help you go through life in the easiest ways, or what you can call also the highest timeline. So instead of trying to figure things out, or trying things before you get the right team, let's say, we will say that trying is also an important part of your process, but that with intuition and with higher and stronger intuition, which you develop the more you practice it, you know if you resonate with someone or not. And if to have an experience or have a longer friendship or have a collaboration. Intuition is also what is telling you in your body, through your mind, your different senses, whether it's a yes or a no in the moment. So the intuition is the inner guidance, while channeling is also coming from within. But channeling is, let's see, a much more aware part of that process. It doesn't happen that randomly. So intuition can happen at any moment. Channeling happens when you're fully in your connection, when you're fully relaxed and connected to your light channel, and when you raise your vibration in order not just to be Vanya or whatever your name is in this lifetime, but to also allow other parts of you to speak. And when we say you, if you're looking from a source perspective, you're all of it. So it's all just parts of you. So channeling comes with much more awareness, a lot of information, and different vibrations according to what is needed. And we're also going to say here, some people have a channeling, you can call it a technique, where they are connected to a certain group that they are working with, certain being. Having like a direct connection and a much longer conversation with that group or that being. And then there is channeling, like what Vanya is doing, where she sometimes says it's multidisciplinary, because she comes from an artistic background where she felt and was multidisciplinary in her art expression. You can say that for her channeling as well. So again, depending on what is needed, she is able to stay fully open and allow even a very quick switches of energy and of connections that bring through what is needed for the highest good. And then there was a third word there in the question.
Psychic abilities.
Psychic abilities, thank you. 2. So all of this is a psychic ability. So meaning that you can use different words to explain what is happening, to name this kind of a process, but it is going beyond the physical into the metaphysical, into being connected to more than what your 5 senses are telling you with your lower state of consciousness and lower state of awareness. So there are different ways to use this higher consciousness and connection, and people do it in different ways and call it differently. And Vanya is able to connect to also souls that have passed on, or to ghosts that are still lingering and not being able to pass, or to an organ that can communicate to her what it's feeling. And we're just tuning in with her 3rd chakra that is going through some discomfort. So we will also explain a bit more about her channeling when she is working with people. So she is able to feel their organs as if they are hers. So she feels it through her physical body. Which you can imagine can sometimes be uncomfortable, but because she allows the full connection, full process, and then the transformation from the stuckness into openness and into healing and into light, that feels incredible after. So it does not torture her own body, or does not make her feel exhausted after. It can make her feel ungrounded, because there's a lot of energy and a lot of connection to not this plane and not this physical body. And it's important to be in your physical body, because that is part of the human experience. It is very needed. So being connected both to earth and the source, and the heart, which is in between it, and then allowing what is needed in the moment and what is your free and full expression. So we are giving you a lot of information, but we did want to bring context to what we are saying. So this was also interesting for Vanya's journey, and sometimes still is, depending on what kind of energy or level of consciousness she is in. So sometimes she will want to tune in with an answer to a question that is really potent on her heart. But if she is not relaxed, if she is not centered and aligned, it will be hard for her to see it clearly and to fully trust it. But when you are grounded, connected to the source, that means aligned and centered in your heart, because the heart is what is allowing the full potential of this message to come through? What is allowing the truth to be shared and then the truth to be received? So the truth of the question, the depth, the root, the meaning of that question to be answered. So yes, when you are centered, you can feel. When you are open in your throat chakra, because it is coming through the throat, these vibrations. So the heart centering, the throat openness, and the calmness of the mind. So calming the judgments, whether this is it or whether that is that, or can I trust it? If you allow the mind to interfere in the process, that's when it becomes much harder to allow the flow of information or energy to come through. So a relaxed, open mind, to relaxed body, so you can move it, shake it, do whatever you need to in order for that to feel good. And then you can ask a question and then feel, for Vanya, it has been changing throughout her journey, the way that she will feel an answer. And it still changes. It's not just localized on the left side, which happens from time to time. It's not just seeing written words, and some of them in caps lock, which also happens from time to time. Now, today, what she is mostly doing is just direct channeling. So she doesn't know exactly what is going to come through before the words are spoken. There are different ways of channeling and receiving information. But what can help you know that it is not your imagination is that you feel the potency of that energy. It feels different. Imagination can be you just wandering around and thinking about something, but channeling is more like boom, boom, boom. It feels much stronger, and Vanya also sometimes see her spirit guides like nodding or applauding or closing the door when a session is closing. So her visuals are also quite active, but it changes. Her body is also feeling it, so it's a different kind of energy. So for you to develop your sensitivity, you are needing to go within. So to spend more time in your inner world, to meditate, to do yoga, to do different types of connecting with your inner world, so that you would understand the cues better, and so that you would clear that inner space, so that you can be that clear channel. Because if there are different blocks, they won't allow the energy to flow. And if you are interfering in the process, it's not coming in the purest, most helpful way. So what is Vanya doing now is she kind of steps back. She allows it fully. She's not trying to manipulate any answer. She is not having any predisposed desires of what it should be or it should look like. Maybe she does have desires for it to be easier and less expressive, because she's still getting used to her whole body being activated and that to be seen on these public platforms. But she's not allowing that to interfere, as you can see. It is coming through quite potently. So yeah, many parts of the channeling process. So the more you work on healing the wounds and the blocks from different chakras, the more you will allow the flow. And you will develop more and more senses and more of your sensitivity for it to come through in the way that it needs to, and it will continue changing. That is an interesting and fun question. We are Vanya's spirit guides. The ones that are speaking at the moment, yes. But then when she goes into a session with a client, we are most often present, but not necessarily the ones that are helping or guiding. So again, it changes depending on what is needed in the moment. But you can say that Vanya is channeling what is needed in the moment of the highest light and for the highest good of all. So that is her intention, and we also want to inspire you to create a certain intention if you want to channel, and that way you will be creating a space, a boundary with the power of your word, power of your intention on what you are allowing to come through. Because as you know, this universe, multiverse is full of different types of energies. And the source does not see any part of it as right or wrong. It just is what needs to be as it's going through its evolution and as it's going through its change. So you can channel many different things, but if you want it to be of the unconditional love and the highest good of all, then say that before you start channeling. That is what Vanya does. And in that way, she also feels she can relax more, because she then can trust that what is coming through is coming through for those reasons. But also you will learn that the power of your word is the most powerful when you are fully feeling it. So you can say some words without fully holding them, fully owning them, fully believing in them. And if you say it without those powers, there's still some doubt that will come through. There's lack of energy. But if you are, again, connecting to the full truth and digging deep, where you know that what you're asking for is right for you, for everyone else too, that it is only what you want, then that power creates that incredible space where you can relax and trust, and then little by little allow the message to develop, to unfold, to show itself. And we will say here that the way that Vanya started channeling and the way that can help you start channeling is through journaling, through, again, setting an intention at the top of the page, saying, what does my soul want to tell me today for my highest good? ? That is a great question to start with, and then allowing your pen, and it's much better with a pen than doing it on the computer, because this movement isn't as flowy and natural as the pen that comes from the heart, and you can allow it through relaxation, breath, and no expectations, to just give you a word or two or to give you strong energy to write, and you'll see that it is something that you wouldn't usually think of or tell yourself. And then throughout the process to check in, am I trying to force this? Am I trying to control this? And how can I relax? Again, to allow it. And again, the more you practice that, the better you will be with it. And then it can start coming through your voice if that's what you need. What we would add before we close this channeling session for now is that Vanya needs to know that this will not be for everyone. And you need to know that too. So if you're watching this, you can tune in with, is there something that you received through this transmission that was feeling good for you, that was lifting your spirit up, that was feeling good in your body? Or if not, then to practice your choice to leave this for now. So we will always say that with every channeling, it is, and every experience, every human experience, you are learning to tune in with what feels right for you, what resonates, and then from that place to move forward, trusting your body, trusting your intuition, and also taking more time to connect with it. Because only through your inner world will you be able to find that inner compass that can take you through life in the easiest, most joyful, most fun way, which is how you can experience life on earth. It does not have to be hard, although getting there can feel hard. But no matter where you are on your path, on your journey, no matter how you felt before this video, before tuning in with this, or how you're feeling now, or how you might feel tomorrow, no matter where you are, you can always reconnect with your inner light, with that inner peace and joy and wisdom and love. And create that kind of a world on the outside too, for yourself and for others. So this is the reason why we are coming through, why we have been pushing Vanya to share this more publicly as well, is because this is the time of great change, and this is the time where this kind of information is needed. People are looking for it, people are craving it, people are starting to remember that there is another way of being, and remembering more of who they are, more about their being, and how to express that in the world, how to create space for that which is, you can call it different, which still just a minority, although a minority that is growing and rising exponentially, is resonating with or allowing to connect with, being open to allow. And with that, we're gonna close this session for now, and thank you for listening, thank you for being, thank you for tuning in, because we need your light in the world, the light that you have inside and that you're learning to open more and more of, to bless your own being and to bless those around you and bless the whole universe while you're at it, by just being more of you, the more true and light version of you. All right. Well, I hope that was interesting, inspiring, helpful for you in some ways. It was a good one. Well, it always is. And after channelings, I feel like full of energy. So I took some time to ground before recording this part. When I'm channeling, I'm feeling a lot of energy. And when I first started channeling, I would feel my body twitching often and like moving, because there was this high vibrational energy that was moving through my body and opening parts that were blocked or kind of stuck and stagnated. So if you channel and if you feel like twitching, allow it. I remember also how I was doing first sessions with my friends, and when I was doing that, afterwards I would feel so full, so ungrounded also, that I would have to get out of the house and go into the pool and do like at least 5 times like swim from one side to another to cool down and to ground and to come back. Or I would be like going for big walks. Also at first I would need to kind of prepare half an hour before a session, make sure that I'm grounded and that I can connect. And nowadays I just breathe and relax, and then take us through a little meditation and invocation in which we set those intentions of what we invite and allow in our space, in this space. And yeah, then I can feel, oh, we're here, and or I start seeing an image and start hearing that I need to share it with a client. And yeah, it has been changing a lot throughout the years. It's been now more than, 4 years since I started doing this with people and sharing it more. It was 2022 in the beginning in Mexico, where I was feeling it in my own meditations, and then I started sharing it with my dear sisters and friends and got more comfortable and better at it. And nowadays after a session, I feel inspired, I feel grateful, because I'm so grateful to be able to do this work and support others and go on these spirit adventures where I'm always learning something new. And yes, it can sometimes be uncomfortable because we're going to the root cause of problems in this lifetime or other lifetimes, and those problems or pains can be some of the hardest experiences, and also experiences of our ancestors, like really tough stuff. But in that space, in that consciousness, I don't judge any feeling. And even though it's like pain, like I am allowing it fully, so I'm not resisting it. And then when I feel it fully, then I can know what it's saying and what it needs. So yeah, when I work with clients, we're going into their soul story, so that's also interesting. Or in Queenlight School, we're doing these Q&A sessions once a month where everyone asks a question, whether it's personal or general, and that's so fun to tune in and then tune out for next question. And yeah, channeling has been really closest to my heart. Something that I loved even before I started doing it. I was listening to many channelers and just receiving incredible vibrations. And even though I didn't know if they were really channeling and I believe that there were some other beings out there, because some of them like channel other dimensional beings, I just knew that it felt good for me. And I allowed my mind to relax and not try to understand everything, but to feel how it resonates and to allow myself to receive those beautiful vibrations. So Yeah, I loved channeling before I started doing it, and then I was very surprised when I started doing it. I never went to a channeling course. I did like Reiki certifications and clear light healing certification, and I did different plant medicines, and I received support from different energy healers. And I feel like I have done enough inner work to allow my gifts to come out, and I feel like I'm meant to do this. So that it came through because it needed to. I didn't push it, I didn't try, and everyone has their own journey. My journey is my own, yours is yours. So there's no right or wrong here, and a spiritual path is quite interesting. So, yeah, I love it. I am very grateful for it. And there is still some discomfort in sharing it publicly, but I feel that it's more important than the fear, and that the need to share it and then no expectations of what it does is what is most important for me, my own health, my own being. But then I trust that it can also support you in some way. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions or anything to share, feel free to do so in the comments. And if you feel called to do a one-on-one session or join our Queenlight community, you'll find some links below. Wish you a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. Rest of your day, beginning of your day, wherever you are on this planet, whenever you're listening to this. And sending you so much love.